The big issue we have here is, number one, why would you go into somebody's home and confront them like that? And number
Because
two,
I wasn't thinking straight.
and number two, do you think it is all right to grab somebody in their own home on her deck like that?
What is this woman, 70?
As I said, I wasn't thinking straight.
On September 27th, officers were dispatched to a suburban home after a spiteful Karen illegally entered her neighbor's home and forcefully grabbed the owner's arm after not getting her way.
What's up, fam? Welcome to the MARLONated Mindstate. I am your host, Marlon C. And today we're looking at a classic case of when taking the law into your own hands goes terribly wrong. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Right here, we have an HOA neighbor who felt that a confrontation over a leaf blower was worth a trip to jail. Now, before we dive in, remember, I'm only reacting to this video for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am not an attorney. If you, for some reason, have questions about any legal matters, be sure to contact an attorney yourself. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when we do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
Actually, let me talk to you real quick. You want to get there?
That they won't allow me to do.
What's that? Hey, ma'am, come here. I gotta. Hold on. We gotta talk to you. So you can't take a walk over here. Here, come here.
Walk
ma'am.
around.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Come here. I'm telling you, just sit tight here for a second, okay? Can you tell me what's going on? Why we're here?
Because they're provoking me. That's why.
What does that mean? What does provoking mean? Hold on. Whoa.
They want to make me the bad guy.
I'm talking to you, and you are not free to leave, okay? So you can't walk away from me when I'm trying to investigate if a crime occurred.
So what we have here is what they call a Terry stop, because the police officer told her that she is not allowed to leave. Now, legally, the police only need reasonable suspicion that a crime has occurred to detain you. She tried to walk away, which is a huge mistake. If you're being detained, walking away can lead to a charge of obstruction of an officer. So I want y'all to remember that. Let's continue.
No, we are here right now. So you chose to walk over here.
Mm-hmm.
I am now addressing you out here, okay?
Okay, fine.
So can you tell me what happened right now?
Yes. Last Sunday, between 4:30 and 5:30, they were making this obnoxious noise. As you can see, my deck is straight earshot.
Where do you live?
I live right there.
What number? What house
56.
number? 56. So 56, and they live over here. So a couple 100 feet away?
I guess. I don't know.
Sure. Okay. So what happened on Sunday?
I came over and told them that there were some rules in the association about making that noise. They said, you're new here. You don't know what you're talking about. We've been here 30 years. Basically, they could do whatever they wanted. They continued.
Okay.
Even with my windows closed, I could hear that obnoxious machine.
Sure.
Okay?
And this is all on Sunday.
Sunday night.
Okay.
So what she did was she was citing HOA rules. But here is the legal reality. The rules of a HOA are only civil contracts, not criminal laws. And this is close to my heart because I hate HOAs, because I live in a neighborhood that has an HOA. And this is a small neighborhood, maybe about 30 some houses. And we pay fees and dues every year, but we don't get anything except harassment. We're told if our grass is too high, we got to get the okay to put a fence up, to put a shed in the backyard, to change the landscape at all. But we don't get like no block parties. We don't get no, hey, best yard of the month club. We don't get none of that mess. So HOAs, they just a money drain. And if you don't pay your fee, they can mess around and somehow put a lien on your house to where you can't even sell your house. But if you sell it, somebody got to pay them fees before that house can change hands. So it's a big headache. It's unnecessary in most cases, I feel, because in my neighborhood, man, I got most everybody here are retired professionals or still working, like professionals, a retired professional, retired policemen, military, people who work for the government in some form, shape, or fashion, first responders. That's what's mainly in our neighborhood. So people around here really take pride in their yard and their neighborhoods, and we look out for each other. But like I said, we get treated like we're just the scum of the earth. But anyway, let's continue.
Right, dinner time, can't be out on the deck.
Okay.
Continued all day Monday, even as late as 7 o'clock. Part of the day Tuesday. On Tuesday, we had a board meeting. I spoke to the president of our board, told him about this. I asked him, what could I do on a Sunday evening like that? He said, call the police.
Period. That should have been the end of it. If there is somebody violating your contractual rules, you call the police. If somebody is violating a noise ordinance, now that could be a legal issue. You call the police. You don't take matters into your own hand, especially when you're like an elderly woman who I feel let's just be honest. I think she just feels entitled because of who she thinks she is. And if y'all know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, that was not something I wanted to do.
Oh,
okay. So when they started up again, what could I do on a Sunday evening like that? He said, call the police. Well, that was not something I wanted to do.
Why not?
Okay. So when they started up again Sunday at 5, now does that sound like they were intentionally trying to aggravate me? I think so. I came over to talk to her. She wouldn't turn off the machine.
Let's slow down. So what do you mean when you came over, you talked to her?
She was on her deck,
Okay.
making noise.
Where did you go?
On this side of the deck fence.
Okay.
I said, can you turn that off? Can I talk to you?
Did you go inside her house?
No, not at that point. I was trying to talk to her.
So you were talking essentially outside where we were originally.
Correct.
Okay. And then what happened after
She
that?
wouldn't turn off the machine.
Okay.
She completely ignored me, pretended I wasn't there.
Okay.
I went onto the deck. I tried to grab the machine.
What do you mean you went onto the deck? How did you get into the deck?
There's an opening right in front of those.
So there's a door to the unit?
No.
So basically she's saying that she went on this woman's property without being invited, which in many states is known as criminal trespass. You do not have to break a lock, kick a door down, jump through a window to be criminally trespassed. All you have to do is just go on somebody's property without being invited, especially then if they ask you to leave. But if you go in there without being invited, that is a criminal trespass because you did not have consent to go on that person's property. To bring it probably a little more common to, I don't know, some of us that's from the hood and in neighborhoods like that, you may have a basketball goal in your backyard or in your driveway. If kids may call it the neighborhood basketball court, some people may not have a problem with that. Some people may have a problem with that. You would probably have a problem with it because not that you don't want people playing basketball and having fun, let the kids have somewhere to go. If something happens on your property, let's say kid gets hurt playing ball on your property, goal falls on their head, they sprain an ankle, you know what I'm saying, crack a kneecap, whatever. A fight breaks out, something happens on your property. It is quite possible that you can get sued, probably criminally and civilly, if something happens on your property. So it's got to the point now to where if somebody want to play in your yard, come in your yard, they have to sign like a waiver saying if anything happens that they refuse, they won't sue you or come after you for damages, and y'all could go through a mediator or something like that. But that's where it's at now. So that could be the issue, which is why people just don't let people just come on their property no more. Now back in the day, we had neighborhood basketball courts, and we would go to the homeboy's house and play ball. Hell, even if they couldn't come outside, we ask them, or they'll come ask me, shoot, can we play on your goal? We'd be like, heck no, go home, boy. You can't. My parents would be like, what the hell wrong with your friends? But anyway, let's continue.
There's how you ask your companion how he got on the deck. There's a gate in front of the door to the house. Okay, there's a gate onto the deck. I went onto the deck. I tried to grab the machine to get her to stop and listen to me. She started yelling.
She didn't even say she said hello when she got on the deck. She said she got on the deck and grabbed it and tried to grab the woman or tried to grab the machine. What the heck?
Touch me, don't touch me. Their dog was barking at the door. The inside door was open. I knock, knock, knock. There was somebody sitting in there. She saw me. I knock again. She ignored me. I opened the door. I don't remember if I walked in. I said, "Can I talk to you?"
Really?
Something like that. And then she started screaming at me. So I came out and I called you folks. And I went over there to tell them.
With Base 44, a simple sentence becomes your website.
I'm so upset.
Oh, really?
I went over there to tell them that the president of the association told me I should call the police, and I did not want to do that. Okay? That's why I went
I'm
over
so
there.
upset you wouldn't let me in your house. That you ignored me like a freaking kid.
But here we are anyway.
When you're grabbing the leaf blower, did you just grab the leaf blower? Or did you grab her
I had no
arm?
idea. I was so
Okay.
annoyed and aggravated.
So you were grabbing something.
I was trying to get her
Do you
to
remember
stop
if
and
you
listen.
grabbed anything though? Like, did you physically hang on to
I
something?
touched something. I didn't.
So you did grasp at something, is what you're saying. You
I
grabbed something.
tried to. I don't think I actually grabbed anything.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
Do you
don't-
remember
don't know.
grabbing her arm at all?
Oh, you don't remember that
To
detail.
prevent her from trying to blow the leaf blower.
She was pointing it at me, so I may have done that.
So yeah, let's just be honest. If what this woman is saying is true, then it does sound like that your neighbor was trying to antagonize you by blowing a leaf blower because you went over there and said something. And now they upset. And now they said, hey, they're going to aggravate the hell out of you because you're being a real Karen. Now they wish and they hope you come and do something. You know, this woman played a very dangerous game, but I'll get into that later.
She was starting to point it at
Okay.
me.
Well, there is a mark on her arm.
Okay, then I guess I grabbed
So you
her
grabbed
arm
her arm. Okay.
with my
The
broken finger.
big
Okay,
issue
so
we
that's
have.
a confession of battery. If she confessed that she grabbed a woman's arm, that's battery, and legally battery is any intentional or non-consensual touching of another person. It doesn't have to be a punch. Excuse me, grabbing someone's arm to stop them from leaf blowing counts. And since the victim had marks on her arm, it justifies the more serious aggravated battery or simple battery charges, depending on the jurisdiction.
Here is number one. Why would you go into somebody's home and confront them like that? And number
because
two,
I wasn't thinking straight.
and number
okay?
two, do you think it is all right to grab somebody in their own home on her deck like that?
As I said, I wasn't thinking straight.
I'm just
crazy.
asking. Do you think that's okay?
I think if somebody's ignoring me,
Hold, no. Do you think it's
I
okay?
did not go over there with
Okay.
the intention of grabbing
Where's
her.
the accountability?
Came over there to confront her about the leaf
No,
blowing. You
I
didn't.
I went over to tell them I didn't want to call the police.
Okay. And then what happened? But you said after
wouldn't
she
even
ignored you,
stop and listen to me.
but then you went onto her deck, onto her private
Yes,
property.
I did.
So does that make that okay? Where are we going?
No, I
Where are we
need a
going?
drink of water.
We aren't going anywhere. I am stopping to talk to you, and I said you cannot leave because we are past the point here right now.
I confess. I went up on her deck. I tried to grab something to get her to stop making noise and listen to me. If I grabbed her arm, I grabbed her arm.
Red flag. Stop. We'll say flag on the play. This is something that you never do. Never, ever, ever confess to committing a crime, no matter how simple, petty, or major that it may be. This is something, especially on the police body cam, because now they got you on tape. And it's going to be kind of hard for an attorney to fight for you when you do a confession. Matter of fact, this is a time that we have learned in the past. This is when you shut up. This is when you be quiet. Silence is a part of a law that you can follow. It's on your side. This is the time where you be quiet. Let the police do whatever they're going to do. Don't fight. Don't resist. Go ahead and go with them. And then you call your lawyer. Says she's trying to justify with her intent to stop the noise, but in criminal law, motive does not excuse the act. You can have a good reason to trespass, but it is still a crime. And for some reason, this older Karen does not understand that. It's like, God.
Can't do that.
Okay, I can't do it.
You absolutely cannot do that.
Fine. I agree. I can't do it.
Absolutely. Do you have your driver's license on you?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'm going to need your basic information. Okay? 95? Let me get her info first, okay? So I did have
Can
a
I get a drink
conversation.
of water?
Not right now.
Okay.
How do you spell your last name? After talking to her, she did admit to going onto her property and attempting to stop her. She did say that she grabbed onto something, and she did acknowledge that she obviously entered her property without that consent. So you do understand that you can't do that regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you committed a battery, okay? And criminal trespass. So you cannot grab somebody.
Okay, fine.
And you can't touch anybody.
I got it.
You do got that, okay. Turn your hands behind your back. You are under arrest, okay?
For heaven's sake.
We are past this point, ma'am, okay?
Well, they must be loving this.
Okay.
Will,
Let's walk over here.
just a moment. My husband has,
Is he home? Okay, is he home?
he is home.
You won't be gone very long regardless, because you're gonna have to come back. You're not being held in jail, okay? You're gonna get your charges, your documentation, and then you're gonna go to your court date.
I can walk better if you're both in the building.
That's fine, I'm just guiding you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm glad to see you're making light of all this, especially when we're trying to reiterate what you did is obviously not okay. You should call 911 regardless of what's going on. You aren't the police.
Exactly. She should call 911 or call a non-emergency line. I know some cities, like I work in a city where I tried to call like the police department directly and try not to call like the 911 because it wasn't like in a dire emergency. But they told me hang up and call 911. That way I can put it in the system. Small little town. And I'm like, okay, I was just trying to avoid that 911 because it wasn't that big of an emergency. But either way, call somebody, call law enforcement if you got a dispute with your neighbor, because the moment you go on them people's property, that's trespassing. And then when you initiate contact, now you are the aggressor and you call the police, but now you're the one who's getting arrested.
You don't have the legal authority to go to somebody's house to do that. Let us do our job.
Well, I told you my intention.
Well, your intention and where you're at is different, so we'll go walk over here.
In the end, Karen was arrested and charged with aggravated battery and criminal trespass for entering private property and grabbing the neighbor by the arm, leaving visible marks.
Man, this is crazy. So, and they call it Karen on the video. So now, legal tip number one, everybody: HOA boards have no police power. They can enforce the civil laws and the contracts that you sign when you buy the house or sign up for the HOA or what have you. And they can take you to court and you can quite possibly lose. It's hard to get rid of HOA, man. Trust me, man. We've tried. And I'm on the board. Ain't that crazy? But I got on the board so I can figure out how this thing works and try to help my neighbors when they're having like some financial disputes or something like that, or trying to get something built, or something changed on their home or their landscaping or something like that. That's the reason why I got on the board, not really just to be a butt or a male Karen or whatever you call it. Number two, self-help, trying to enforce rules yourself, usually ends in a lawsuit or a jail cell, like this woman here. And tip number three, if the police are talking to you about a confrontation, I wasn't thinking straight, is not a legal defense. It's an admission of a loss of control. Let me tell y'all a story about a neighbor dispute. I had, one time I had like a grandbaby, one of the grandbabies and their friend playing outside in the yard. Now live in a rural area, still a neighborhood, but a rural area. So shooting guns is not illegal. Usually people shoot guns, they won't call the police. But anyway, I heard somebody was shooting guns in the area, and I'm tripping like, dang, what's going on? So anyway, I go outside to the garage and I can hear bullets ricocheting, whizzing through the neighborhood. So I'm telling youngers, hey, y'all go around front. I go call the police. Police say, well, where you live, you can't, we really can't come out there because, you stay in the rural area. I say, look here, man, this is a neighborhood here. And I'm hearing bullets whizzing between these houses. And I got kids out here playing. Anybody can get hit. And then she said, okay, I'll call the sheriff out there. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I hung up. I said, man, hold on. Let me go around here. So I went around there to talk to the guy. Long story short, him and his neighbor were having a dispute over the death of a dog, naked yoga, and I could get into more details, but I won't. And that's why he was out there shooting his gun. But he said, you know what? I'll stop doing it. He said he was shooting to the ground, to this berm in the ground, and like thinking that the 22 bullets, thinking they was going into the dirt, but some of them were not going into the dirt. Some of them were ricocheting off that dirt, off that hill, and going through our neighborhood. So anyway, he said he would stop doing it or whatever. And that was it. So neighbor conversation. So my thing is about this woman here. I'm not sure what she thought she could do, but she does not understand the danger she put herself in. You do not know them people. Now, she said that her neighbor said they've been there for 30 years and this woman just moved to the neighborhood. Now she's finna start running stuff, raising hell because of who she thinks she is. Okay. But she doesn't know these people. And even if you do know them people, you don't know them people. They could have easily, you step on my property, they could have easily did something to harm. You touched that woman. You touched that woman's property. You don't know what they could have been thinking. They don't know what your intentions were. That woman could have been hurt or could have been mourned at the next bingo hall meeting, if you know what I'm saying. So you gotta be smarter than that, man. You can't just do things on a whim just because your emotions are high, just because this heifer ignored you. That, like I say, that's childish. Really on both ends. It's being childish. Maybe she was running a leaf blower. Not sure why she running a leaf blower 3 days straight. That's kind of crazy. But I don't know. Maybe she was blowing up. Maybe it was a bounce house. She was blowing up, or air mattress or something at night. And who knows? You know what I'm saying? But whatever the case may be, if it aggravates you that much and you said something to her, like the HOA man said, call the police. But anyway, what do you guys think about this story? Was the arrest too harsh, or did she earn those silver bracelets? Let me know in the comments. You know how we do around here. Let's have an intelligent conversation. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out of your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. And with that being said, I leave you in peace and love, and I'll see you on the other side.